welcome to another edition of Issues with Jide. Here we'll talk about actions and inactions of those who shape our political landscape and national landscape and how these impact us positively or otherwise. I'm Ibrahim Shita. Today on the show, Bribe for Bandits Allegation. El-Rufai comes under fire. Because of the program, we take your questions, but first, subscribe to our YouTube channel and drop your questions in the comment section. It's important to mention that we can only read comments with human names and the ones based on the subject matter. I have joining me via Zoom from Welling, Kent, United Kingdom, the maestro himself, Jide Kolade. Good to see you, BK, all the way from London.
Yeah, good to see you, Brian. It's my joy to do this with you and to get across to our esteemed viewers on a day like this. We are being hosted to a party by Mrs. Deborah Obafemi, who is a very good family friend here in Welling, Kent, the United Kingdom. So I've had to leave the party so that our program can happen.
Absolutely. So let's quickly do what we have to do so that you go back to Mary.
Yeah.
All right. Now, getting down to brass tacks. If you recall, last Friday, the Kaduna State Police invited Malam Nasir El-Rufai and 6 other ADC leaders to appear before the Criminal Investigation Department on charges of criminal conspiracy and incitement to public disturbance. At the same time, El-Rufai continues to, as you know him, to insist that a kiss the bandit policy is being pursued by the federal government, a claim firmly rebutted by the NSA as baseless. BKO, given this volatile overlap of high-stakes police summons and these explosive security and governance allegations, what do you see as the wider political implications or political and security implications of these developments?
Yes, there are so many things rolled into one. Malam Nasir El-Rufai granted an interview in which he said a lot of things. Some of them deliberately said to annoy, to sow confusion in the ranks of his perceived enemies, enemies that he had cultivated for years. And even enemies that he just made a couple of years ago. He targeted them in that interview and he was not holding back at all. So those fellows attacked, and the government, they are on his case at this time. And then there was also the meeting of the ADC, the party that Malam Nasir El-Rufai is believed to support after making a big effort to sow seeds in the SDP. So he appears now to have fully committed to the new phase of opposition politics in our country, the ADC. They were going to have a meeting. That meeting was disrupted. Accusations are flying all over the place. Some people believe that the government instigated the thugs to overrun the venue of the meeting. Some people also believe that the disruption was the result of infighting within the ADC. So we do not know what exactly happened. No one should have expected that, having been banned by the SDP, Malam Nasir El-Rufai will remain in the SDP. He has shown clearly now that his heart is with the ADC. He's gone there. Now, The police are investigating that disruption, that attack of a meeting venue by the suspected thugs. Who sent the thugs, we do not know. But the police have invited Malam Nasir El-Rufai, and I dare say that Malam Nasir El-Rufai is not too big to be invited. No Nigerian is too big to be invited by the police to explain um, uh, what he knows about the attack on a meeting venue by thugs. So that is my position. The people arguing that, oh, it suggests that we have now embraced authoritarianism and all that. The police should be allowed to do their work. If the police invites someone, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. No one is saying it's not being invited by the police to answer questions. It's not the same thing as being thrown in jail. Of course, his lawyers will get involved, and it will be, once it's done with explaining a few things, it will be allowed to go home. We mystify issues so much in our country. There's no big deal in inviting anybody. Nobody is bigger than the state. And especially when you don't have immunity, you can be invited for questioning. People should be free to submit themselves for questioning once they are invited, as long as you know that your hands are clean. So attributing this, linking this to authoritarianism, that the ruling party or the ruling government has decided to be dictatorial in a democracy, I just don't get it. No man is bigger than the Nigerian state. It does not matter whether you've been governor before now, or it doesn't matter whether you see yourself as a special being. You are not bigger than the Nigerian state. You do not have immunity. You can be invited for questioning by the police. It is within the powers of the police to invite any Nigerian for questioning, to come and explain what he knows about an issue. It is only in our country that certain individuals will be invited and will start thinking that, oh, they are too big. Must the police always go to someone's home to interrogate the person, to ask questions? No. So let us put that one aside. Malam Nasir El-Rufai and others are not bigger than the Nigerian state. If the police sees any reason to invite them, the police should feel free to invite them for questioning. They are not bigger, no matter who they think they are not bigger than the Nigerian state. So that is, let's put that one aside. The other issue has to do with Malam's assertion that the Office of the National Security Advisor has been bribing bandits to secure the release of persons kidnapped in the name of non-kinetic approach to defeating insecurity. He said that the Office of the NSA has been giving billions of naira to bandits. I do not know whether this is true or it's not true. But whoever makes an allegation this gigantic, in my view, should be ready to prove those allegations. And who knows? Malam Nasir El-Rufai could actually have cast iron evidence that can embarrass not just the Office of the National Security Advisor, but the presidency or the Nigerian, our country as a whole, because it makes no sense to placate terrorists. It makes no sense. People have said, people like Shehu Sani, the senator, Senator Shehu Sani, said, look, there is no big deal in paying bandits. That Nasir El-Rufai himself openly admitted that he paid bandits to stop killing people in Kaduna State. Now, my own position is that the fact that Nasir El-Rufai was paying bandits, or that he paid a hefty sum of money to bandits who came from different African countries, does not make it right and does not justify paying money to bandits. At the same time, I also know that there are situations in which it becomes inevitable to negotiate, especially when you have tried all means possible and you cannot secure the release of innocent captives. Sometimes government negotiate. The Buhari regime negotiated with Boko Haram to secure the release of Chibok girls on 2 occasions. The government did not negotiate directly. The Red Cross was involved because the terrorists will not trust the Nigerian government to negotiate directly with them. So countries go through third parties. America, Israel, they go through third parties, they negotiate. And sometimes money changes hands when it becomes inevitable to negotiate. I remember the matter of the train passengers that were kidnapped about 3 years ago on my birthday, March 28th. Since the armed forces could not secure the release of those train passengers, and the terrorists posted a video in which they were flogging the passengers. A prominent Muslim cleric recorded a video in which he insulted the late President Muhammadu Buhari in a manner that I had never seen a Nigerian president insulted. He said all kinds of things. That why would he not show kindness? Because he knew at that time that if the president didn't negotiate, those people will not be free and they will continue to face problems. They will continue to be tortured. So he asked the question, Meyasa Zuchianka ya bushe haka, that how come your heart is so dry? Immediately after that video, shortly after that video, the presidency set up a team. And that team negotiated with the bandits, with the terrorists, and secured the release of the remaining people because some of those passengers, the passengers who had been released were made to pay 100 million each. So others who could not pay were then being flogged in that video to pile pressure on government. Because they knew that once they released that video, there will be so much pressure on government to secure the release of those people. So the terrorists know what they are doing. Nasir El-Rufai is known to have paid bandits, is known to have paid terrorists to leave, to stop killing Kaduna people. So it smacks of barefaced hypocrisy for him to be saying that government is paying bandits to release people in their hands. One thing that is clear is that one approach cannot solve the problem of insecurity in our country. In Kaduna State, the government negotiated with representatives of bandits, and in so many parts of the state now, there is peace, verifiable peace. In Briningwari, where in the Pacific soldiers were scared to go, there has not been any attack in more than a year. So if you ask me, whatever makes sense for government to do to stop bloodletting in our country, I will support government doing it. That is better than seeing people being killed every day.
That's right.
I will choose life over death any day. I will choose peace over bloodletting. So, and if we are to look at, and Malam El-Rufai also said that journalists, in fact, that journalists were compromised, that they were underreporting killings. Journalists, including me, are not underreporting killings. When people were killed in Yelwata in their hundreds, the press reported it. The figure being bandied about in the press was higher than what the security forces claimed. I personally even went to Yelwata 48 hours after the latest killings. I could have refused to go there. I went there to speak to the people, to hear from the people, to know what needs to be done so that the problem can be solved. If we wanted to underreport or not report at all, what would have taken me to Yelwata? But I was there. Another job. So saying that people were underreporting, journalists were underreporting the killings in our country is unfortunate. And that's a great disservice to the courage and industry that journalists show in our country. I guess that Malam Nasser Rufai is not happy that people that he really that there is change in the area of security. We are not there yet. People are still being killed in Katsina, in Zamfara, and other places. But the record of security, the record of Ubasani in the area of security as governor of Kaduna State is far better than Nasir Rufai's record as governor. Since Ubasani became governor of Kaduna State, there has not been any reported mass killing in the state. No one. And it is clear he's trying to unite all the people. He's not treating the Southern Kaduna people as a sweet rap on the floor. He's reaching out to the troublemakers, the ones who do not agree to be placated. The military serves them justice. I do not see anything wrong in that. The kinetic and the non-kinetic approach are going together. They are being implemented together. Those who want to make peace, government reaches out to them. It's the carrot and stick approach. The ones who are not prepared to make peace, the military goes for them, and a lot of them are being killed. Imagine what happened in Kajuru. 141 persons were killed in Kajuru during Malam Nasser Rufai's time. No one can deny that. We are in Southern Kaduna between 2023 and now. Has anybody reported the killing of 141 persons in one attack? Those killings have gone down. The people from the area, they are happy to come out and say, look, our people are happy now because these killings are no longer happening. No one is saying kidnapping is no longer happening, but these things have gone down drastically. So Ubasani's record in that area is a lot better. And people can see is verifiable. Look
Right.
at the killing of 38 persons. 38 persons were killed in Kaura. That was in December 2022 or so in Kaura. Then there was the attack on the castle, one of the best tourist destinations in Kaduna State. Foreign tourists were attacked and killed. That sort of thing is not happening now. No one can deny. I went to Brenengwari. Brenengwari today, the richest farmer in Kaduna State is in Brenengwari now. He made 1.4 billion naira from 3 crops alone. Who could have achieved that feat if not because of peace? Farmers can go about their businesses. I was there, I interviewed people. So, in terms of his record, Ubasani's record in the area of security is a lot better than that of um, Nasir El-Rufai. But we are not saying that everything is perfect. I'll be the last person to admit that. There
Right.
were other things that he said for which he is being attacked. And now um, the executive director of National Civil Society Council of Nigeria, Blessing Akilo Sotu, gave him
Mm.
72 hours to provide evidence that the government was paying billions of naira to bandits.
That's right.
I
Because
hope that
um,
it takes up. I hope that it takes up that challenge. The other thing that he said that also made him to come under attack is his claim that the Christians, the Southern Kaduna people, constitute just 25% of the population. This is a lie from the pit of hell. This is a lie. And it is in complete contradiction with facts provided by the MBS, facts provided by the INEC. From the INEC database in 2023, 4.335 million people registered in Kaduna State for the 2023 election, according to the data on INEC website in terms of registered voters. Southern Kaduna's 12 local governments, 1.895 million people registered for that election from Southern Kaduna's 12 local governments. That accounts for 43.7 million of the entire registered voters. And he wants us to believe that that those people are 25% of the population of Kaduna State. As for the MBS's 2025 records show that the people of Southern Kaduna account for between 40 to 46% of the population of the state, which is already close to half of the population. So it is not difficult to see clearly that he was bitter and that in his bitterness, he said a lot of things that cannot be factually verified. How about the killing of Shiites, which the vice presidential candidate of Labour Party, Baba Ahmed, referred to? So Baba Ahmed said that he was also a victim of El-Rufai's wickedness as governor, and that because they wanted to demolish the shrine, the temple of the Shiites, they had to kill that number of people. How can you allow hundreds of people to be killed under your watch. And today you are talking about insecurity. You are saying people are being killed.
That's right. Well,
The same
so
governor
many.
who was jailing journalists,
Right.
the man who was jailing journalists as governor is now because they heard that they've invited him. No, you are not bigger than the state. If you've been invited, show up there. It's as simple as that. I've said
Right.
before that I felt that Nasir El-Rufai was badly treated. Yes, we were already looking forward to him being in the cabinet. So anybody who was treated that way, because he felt that the president will intervene and get the Senate to confirm him with alacrity. But the president didn't exercise that option. So he felt betrayed. Having worked for the president, although he did not deliver his state, he did not even deliver his local government. President Tinubu lost Kaduna. President Tinubu actually won only 2 local governments in the whole of Kaduna state. Kaduna is the third largest local state in our country by
Yeah.
landmass. President Tinubu won just 2 local governments. So Nasir El-Rufai did not deliver Kaduna to the president. But we must admit that he worked for the president. He was one of those who galvanized people around the candidacy, around the Southern presidency. So he deserves his flowers for that. And I personally felt that he was not well treated. But at the same time, shouldn't he just let the matter go?
That's right.
Shouldn't he just move on? Because saying all of these things, attacking the people of Southern Kaduna, showing that he genuinely hates those people, I don't think is good for somebody who wants to be seen as a statesman. Some of the comments were uncalled for. And the people recall that he was demoting their traditional rulers. You demote a traditional ruler from first class to third class as a way of humiliating them.
Hmm.
So this is
So,
the thing. We believe that there should be fairness in everything we do.
right.
The
Right.
elections will soon come,
Right.
and Nasir El-Rufai has chosen to be against the president. It is well within his rights, and I believe that he is a formidable politician. He has the gift of the gab. He's a brilliant man, no doubt about it. He's a very decisive man, but he has also shown that sometimes he's not committed to the truth. By saying the
Yeah.
Southern Kaduna people are 25% of the population is a lie from the pit
Fast.
of hell.
Right, Mikhail. Let me take some comments before I take the second question. Ibrahim Danjuma says, from police summons to banditry allegations, El-Rufai's political afterlife seems more dramatic than his time in office. Tunde Akinwale says, if the allegations about bandit payments are true, then we need a full probe. Security shouldn't be treated like market goods. Musa Abdullahi says El-Rufai always projected toughness, but these controversies are cracking that image wide open. Zainab Mohammed says it's sad how ex-governors face accountability only after leaving power. Kaduna deserves better transparency. And Kemi Balogun says Shehu Soni's criticisms of El-Rufai are biting, but may be overdue. Kaduna people knew the governance gaps long before now. So talking about Shehu Sani, he has also reignited debate on El-Rufai's governance record in Kaduna, particularly his handling of insecurity, which you have also alluded to. How do you think these criticisms, combined with the current allegations, shape public perception of his legacy and political relevance going forward?
I think that these criticisms are good. At least they are reminding a lot of us of some of the things that we had forgotten. Senator Shehu Sani um, said recall that there was a press conference that they were addressing, he and his people were addressing inside the NUJ secretariat, and thugs were sent, thugs believed to have links to former Governor Nasir El-Rufai, stormed the venue, chased away the people, damaged TV cameras, beat people up, and they were led by DPO. So it's not some of those things that he had done are the same things that he's accusing other people of doing now. If you are saying that this current government is intolerant, this and that, you are also intolerant. You locked people up, journalists, you lock them up. You lock people up. You are not receptive to criticism. So there's nothing, and you paid bandits. But with your own mouth, you admitted that you paid bandits. Have you expressed regret for paying bandits? Because if you express regret, then your criticism of the current set of leaders paying bandits will be warmly received. But if you paid bandits and you didn't see anything wrong about it because you wanted to achieve peace, you wanted to stop the killings, why are you talking about other people doing the same thing? That is more than borderline hypocrisy to do that. And that is the point. All of those issues he accused these people of, he's been reminded of the occasions when he did similar things. So this is the situation. Let those criticisms keep coming. And if people like Sheikh Sani are criticizing El-Rufai, it is welcome. Because he dealt with them, dealt with Suleiman Hunkui, dealt with Sheikh Sani, because they were the people who sat in the National Assembly and stopped him from being able to get the loan that he badly wanted. So Hanani Karbabashi, so he was swearing at them in Hausa. So this, I think that El-Rufai is a very angry man, no doubt about it. He felt that the president treated him badly. But he should stick to his message without necessarily coming up with tissues of lies, things that are so easy to, even by the 2007 census of Kaduna State, you cannot say that the Southern Kaduna people or the Christians are 25%. You cannot say that. Right. Even in Zaria, there are Christians from Zaria. Zaria, as a community, has native Christians. The Magusawa, people like Professor Ishaya Haudu, was from Kaduna State and was a Christian. The first qualified doctor from northern Nigeria was also a Christian who was also a Christian from that part of Kaduna State. That is Baraudiko. He qualified as a doctor before other northerners.
That's right. Right. Adiza Suleiman says El-Rufai always had a reputation for boldness, but boldness without accountability is dangerous. Miriam Bello says the irony is striking. El-Rufai once positioned himself as a no-nonsense governor, but now faces questions about complicity. Anthony Ibe says this saga is another reminder of why Nigeria desperately needs transparency in how security challenges are handled. And lastly, Fatima Yusuf says, whether guilty or not, the fact that El-Rufai is even in this kind of storm shows how trust in leadership has eroded. Well, that's our show for today's edition of Issues with Jide. Special thanks to you, Baba Jide, Kolade Tutoji, for those insightful analyses as always, all the way from Welling, Kent, in the United Kingdom.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you to our esteemed viewers. We'll do this again, God willing, next week. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, and wish you a safe journey back home, Mikhail, very soon.
Thank you.
All right. And thanks to our audience for keeping our company on every edition. You can see the program again anytime by subscribing to our YouTube channel, TVC News Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button to get the latest information. You can also follow us on our social media platforms at TVC News NG. I'm also at Ibrahim_Shita. On behalf of the rest of the team, I'm Ibrahim Shita. See you again next edition. Bye for now.